So I'm very good about taking shorthand notes because I know it'll trigger my memory. And I wrote down coward, drama, pity, poor me. And I have no idea what it was, but luckily past me is looking out for future me because I actually made notes, to be clear, which never happens. When you look at my notebook, there are phrases written down because I know it's going to trigger that thought process.
I think I recall that moment where you wrote these things down and you're like, I'm not going to remember this. I remember that moment.
I wrote, if your partner has become so used to conflict at home, do you believe that they will want to be there or be the best version of themselves when they are there? I had no punctuation there. And it's very scribbly written down because I thought it was going to jog my memory and it didn't. But reading it did. Yeah. So back to the other thing where it comes to the positive and negative home front, in the event that I had to come home and knowing that you were going to be negative and knowing that there was going to be conflict, you were never going to get the best version of me.
Right.
You are going to get the version of me that is overly defensive. And this applies to anyone who gets into an argument and finds their partner constantly on the defensive. It could be a trauma response. It could be something you're doing. So I'm going to be overly defensive. In the event that you ask me to do something, I'm going to hem and haw about it.
Yeah.
Because why should I want to do something to somebody who's always nasty to me versus having a positive partner who's like, hey, when you get a minute, can you go vacuum my car? But yeah, babe, I got you because I'm happy because you treat me right and because there's no conflict and everything is positive in the home. And I know there's going to be people like, well, I tried the positivity thing and it didn't work for him. Well, there's either a deeper issue there that you're not acknowledging and you think everything is okay and you haven't talked to your partner because you don't know how to communicate and you believe that everything is okay, or you just got a shitty partner. And if you've been with this person for years, do you really think that they're just a shitty partner? Or do you think there's really an issue there that you haven't figured out what's going on yet and they're not comfortable enough to talk to you about it because of the way that you act, react, or treat them? Yep. When you give your partner the best version of yourself, you will almost always get the best version of them.
Yeah.
And if that best version of them does not meet the best version of you and you are still not happy, it's because you've got the wrong partner.
Yep. I agree with that statement.
You can have the most amazing person on the planet and you two not mesh. And it doesn't mean that just because you two don't work doesn't mean that one of you are bad or a piece of shit. It could just come down to you didn't set your boundaries. You haven't learned to communicate with each other. And things are falling the fuck apart. And you guys are just kind of letting it go, hoping that things are going to magically mend themselves. Yeah. A wound will heal itself. You know, if you get a body piercing for a clean person, for a normal clean person that's not mud wrestling and being disgusting, you cannot do anything to that piercing and it will heal.
Right.
If you get a cat scratch, are you putting rubbing alcohol and peroxide on it 15 times a day and scrubbing it with antibacterial soap and fucking steel wool and trying to make sure that your shit is just absolutely impeccable? No, because your body's going to heal itself. Your relationship is not going to fucking heal itself. It's going to need some Band-Aids. It's going to need some ointments.
It's going to need some like wound care.
Right. And that wound care is your communication. Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Communication is the wound care of relationships.
I like that.
Yep.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that, found it entertaining, funny, or even learned something you didn't know before, share it. And if you're not subscribed, why aren't you? And for those of you who want to support us, get access to exclusive content and live streams, we do have a Patreon. All the links are in the description.